going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm continuing to rate or rank all of the colors from Bloomburrow, beg your pardon. Using the famous Wooburg acronym, I've started with white, and I will end up with my multicolor and colorless cards. I'm picking one card from each rarity, so common, uncommon, rare, mythic, from each of the colors in the set. Now that spoiler season has completed and we have seen the entire set, I am fairly confident in my picks. The most recent one I recorded was red, so now, last but not least, we are going to be looking at the G from Wooburg, and of course that is green. And my favorite common from green, from the set, without a shadow of a doubt, had to be the Sun Shower Druid over here. This card is so freaking sweet. The minute I saw this, it just, like, think about it. The quality of the one drops. So far, there's been one in every video that I've done for every color, in every tribe, at every rarity, and a fantastic one drop. This is just really, really good. There's no way that I can, like, I guess once we get to some of the other two drops that are going to go right into this tribe, you'll understand why I'm so high on the card. For 1 mana, enters the battlefield. Even if you just play this on turn 1, you can put a counter on itself. So for 1 mana, you're getting a 1/3 and you're gaining a life. Against mono red, like, that's freaking amazing, dude. Against their Monastery Swiftspear, like, you're going to be able to block without the creature dying, and you're gaining life. But the important thing is, this just synergizes so well with what frogs are trying to do. We want everything to keep entering and leaving the battlefield. Which brings us straight to my choice for the uncommon of the set in green. The 3/3 Scribe. Whenever it or another creature you control leaves the battlefield without dying, you put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. So, of course, you can pick it. And there's better targets for all of these counters, we'll see, because there's other frogs that have trample or something, where then the bigger they get, the better. But there's going to be so many of these frogs just coming and going, and the fact that none of them cost, like, the good ones that you want to be doing this with the most, more than 1 or 2 mana. And there's some frogs that also allow your frogs to tap for mana, so I think we're going to be churning through our deck really rapidly and putting in a lot of counters on a lot of things really quickly. If we also throw in, like, some Ozoliths that we already have, I have a feeling that this deck is going to be really low to the ground, really aggressive, and we'll be able to play it in a very kind of tempo style, where you consider that most of the good frogs are also in blue. That means we get to play the Simic counter spell that we just got that puts counters on things. I can't remember the name of it. Counter target spell. The opponent has to pay, as much as the biggest creature on the battlefield, and then, it's just going to synergize so well with this deck, because it's already showing us that we're going to be wanting to be putting +1/+1 counters on things. The fact that we also get to counter some, and we're going to have card draw because of another card which I've shown you in the blue when we were doing blue for the set. my pick for my favorite red, my favorite rare blue card is this frog that whichever frog enters or leaves any creature leaving the battlefield, you're drawing a card. So you're going to be drawing a card, putting a +1/+1 counter, gaining life. It's going to go quick. I think it's going to be actually a really good one. I wouldn't be surprised when all is said and done if, like, Simic Frogs doesn't just become, like, the de facto best kind of aggro tempo deck in the format. It might end up being better than the Azorius Birds. And I think Mr. Scribe here and the one drop we just saw are going to be a fundamental part of that deck if it's going to be a good one. So stay tuned for early access. Cannot wait to put it to the test. And that brings us straight into my 3-drop card, which is the Valley Mightcaller. Sorry, 3-drop. My third choice and my rare choice for this for the color. 1 mana for a frog warrior. This one has trample. Whenever another frog, rabbit, so great. This is like the best ever champion of the perished. Because like, yes, it's champion of the perished was the zombie one, and then there's champion of the parish was for humans, which are, there's great humans especially, but this, like, specifically for this set and like where the meta is going for the next little while in standard, frogs, rabbits, raccoons, squirrels, like this is just gonna go into so many decks immediately, and the fact that it has trample just immediately makes it so insane. You're probably gonna start off with this. I'll figure out the right play pattern, which of the 1-drops needs to enter first to then make for the most explosive turn 3, let's say. I'm thinking this will probably be the thing you play first. Then on turn 2, you play 2 of the 1-drop guy, the common one, right? Or there's a, oh my god, like it's gonna be insane. There's another one, I kind of spoiled what my mythic choice is, but there's another 1-drop that's a 2/2 that puts more counters on itself when other things leave the battlefield. Oh my god, it's just the amount of counters that we're going to be able to be putting on this guy on like turn 3 if you get the right play pattern down with these little froggies is going to be bananas. And the fact that it has trample, oh my god, cannot wait. 10 out of 10. This card is freaking sick. Look at the artwork. It's got the other types in the background there. And he's the frog warrior, like the, oh my god. Flavor win, design win, power level win. 10 out of 10. Just absolutely love this card. Which brings us neatly to my pick for the best green mythic in the set. And no, this time I did not pick the season. I think the green season is good. It's probably just a little bit too expensive. And I hate the fact that it can do a farewell on my ass by getting rid of all of my artifacts and all of my enchantments in one spell that costs 6 mana. I'm gonna hate it. I was really hoping we wouldn't have an effect like that in the format for a little while to give some space to my beloved artifacts decks. Regardless, this is my choice. Lumra, the Bellow of the Woods. Why do I like this card so much? It's not the general kind of typical BrewLab card. It costs a lot of mana. It's just a big silly green dude that, but its power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control, and when it enters, you mill 4 cards and return all lands. There's this like Golgari, maybe Jund kind of a deck with that pitiless carnage, and the the analyst, the mill, put lands in your yard, and then later on bring them all back. As a one-of, this is probably just going to be a one-of in that deck. But we have so many ways to tutor for it or dig really deep with that other plot, 2 mana, something, pillage the bog, go find your Lumra, boom, enter the battlefield, bring all your lands back, it'll trigger all of you. I think like a Jund or Golgari, like graveyards, sack your own lands, shenanigans type of a deck, like this is going to go right in there. And like, there'll probably be some silly shenanigans where we can play the little 1 mana landfall lizard guy and just like have a buttload of lands enter the battlefield again. After you do like a whole pitiless carnage loop into analyst, and you put all this mana, and then you play Lumra, bring everything back, swing, maybe find a way to give it haste. I don't know. I think this is going to be a really fun like build around like combo card, and I just, it seems like a kind of cop-out pick for the best mythic green of the set, but honestly the others didn't really stand out to me as anything too special, so I went with this one, and I think it's going to go really nicely with this other green mythic that's coming in Duskmorn that we saw a little teaser of during one of the panels, but I won't go into that now. It's way too far down the line. So that is going to be it for my favorite as far as green is concerned. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of my picks, whether you prefer others, if I missed something that's obviously way better or whatever. Please let me know in the comments. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be seeing you all in the next one, which now that we've done Wooburg, now we're going to be moving into Colourless and the multicolor, the gold cards. And then we'll be done with this little mini-series, so stay tuned. But until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.